Well, g'day everyone, how's it going? Coming at you from the studio today, and it's a little bit of a mess here right now. I've just got off a big shoot the last 2 days, transcoding footage. You can probably hear my computer just going bananas, trying to transcode this H.265 R5 footage. But I just wanted to talk through how the shoot went and yeah, what sort of things I noticed with the camera. I used it basically for 2 days straight, and the first day was about a 9-hour shoot. The second day was about a 6-hour shoot. Shot interviews, I shot B-roll, lots of B-roll sequences. I shot a lot in 50 frames per second, some in 100 frames per second, and then the interviews in the crop 4K. And I just wanted to take you through how it all went and how the camera performed. I've got some good points, some really great things. I've got some not so great points that I want to share about the camera. And so let's get into it. While we do that, I'm going to unbox something that I got in the mail, which is going to hopefully help me step up my game in my creative journey. I'm using something that I thought I wouldn't use as much as I have recently. I'm using it a lot more now. And so I got these so that I might be able to hear something in there. But anyway, I got these so that I can do more creative stuff with that. But anyway, let's get into the video. So the point number one that I want to say is the experience shooting with the R5 and this lens here, the 24 to 70 f2.8. I shot most of the B-roll run and gun style on this, and I shot most of it handheld. And the experience of that was awesome. Like, it was brilliant. Like, so much easier than having to switch out lenses to get those different focal lengths, and so much easier than needing to stabilize everything, like needing to be on a monopod. On the EOS R, I just found that I needed to be on a monopod a lot more often. I shot between the 4K crop 50 frames per second and the full frame 50 frames per second, and I got no overheating issues in those two modes. However, I did get an overheat warning when I switched to 100 frames per second. So I was switching back between 50 and 100 frames per second in full frame. And so the second point, a little bit of a negative point, is yes, it did throw me an overheating code, an overheating warning, but it didn't stop the camera and nothing bad happened. So essentially what happened is I was shooting for about 40 minutes, just taking short B-roll bursts in 50 frames a second, and then I was switching to 100 and back to 50, back to 100, back to 50, both in the full frame, all-eye codec. And so when I jumped to 100, I wanted to shoot this one sequence and I couldn't get the sequence. So I was trying like 3 or 4 times. I was outside, I was in the sun, ambient temperature was probably about 23 degrees Celsius. And what happened was I took the shot and I saw the red devil, the devil on the R5, the red little thing come up to give me the warning. So I had the overheat warning on and it gave me that warning. And so straight away I did one more take of that shot, another 4 or 5 second clip, and then switched back to the 50 frames per second, and the overheat warning was gone. So no issues there. It just disappeared. I don't know why it didn't then flag me the overheat warning. Maybe the 100 frames was starting to work the camera or the SD or the CF Express, card too hard, and then it got me back to the normal. Once I got back to the normal 50 frames, it disappeared, and then I never saw that overheat warning again. I jumped back to 100 frames a second, I jumped back to 50, and I never saw it again for the rest of the day. So that was cool. Point number 3 was I feel like the image quality in the C-Log, the 10-bit file, is beautiful. I think it's up there with some of the best, and I shot everything in C-Log, and I was really, really happy with the results I was getting out of camera. So that was really good as well. It was a little bit better, I think, than the EOS R5, and I feel like that was something that definitely is a step up if you're looking at the R5 over, say, the 5D Mark IV or the EOS R, even the 1DX Mark III. I feel like this camera, this EOS R5, is superior in terms of its image quality, and usability was great, but, and let me get a knife or a key or something here to open this. But there is a but, because what actually happened is the camera froze. So point number 4, we're up to point number 4, or point number 5. the camera froze on me 3 times during these 2 days of the shoot. Now, I'm pretty techie when it comes to like cameras. So I'm flicking through the controls like super quick. I'm just like boom, boom, boom. So if I need to get my shot, I'm directing people, I just say, hang on a second, I'm just gonna get my shot settings. And I literally just like flick through and get those settings. And so I did that. And I was basically 3 times when I did that, I did a combination of something with the camera where I reviewed a piece of footage or I changed a setting or did something and the camera froze. So what does that mean? Well, it froze and the warning light or the record light would stay red. Nothing would happen on the camera. Nothing. I could not do anything. Turn off the camera, nothing would happen. No functionality on the camera whatsoever. Pop the battery, and finally, the first time it happened, I thought, here we go. I had a backup camera, I had the EOS R backup, and I was prepared to shoot on that in the full HD 50 frames and upscale for this client, but I really wanted the full 4K res out of the C-Log on the R5. So when this happened, I thought, I've bricked the camera and this shoot's over. But anyway, pop the battery, put the battery in, and we came back online straight away. Within, a couple of seconds, we were all back online, up and running. So I didn't review that last clip that I had. So when I got back to my computer, that last clip that I shot wasn't recorded. It wasn't recorded to the card. So that happened twice. So I had 3 shutdowns, twice while I was trying to hit record or like start the next record. And so that was a thing that happened with the camera. So man, it's hectic. Like I would just say, be really careful. If you're on a shoot that's got, that you don't have a backup or anything and you're shooting for the first time on the R5, because it's done this thing and it's just got this quirks still that, I feel like new firmware is going to iron these things out. But I was sort of stuck there for that few moments when the camera froze, just thinking, what am I going to do? But I'm from the days of the 5D Mark II and 5D Mark III using Magic Lantern, and we know that used to have freeze ups and stuff as well, because you're just writing so much data. And the way I work with the camera is I probably work too quickly for it to process. And so it's like it has a big crash, just like a computer would crash. And so that did happen. And so I would just be really mindful of that being an occurrence, that being something that can happen with the R5. But apart from that, the only other thing that happened, final thing I will say as I show you what I got here. Have a look here, what do we got? Yeah. Some Ronin S handles. I've been using the Ronin S quite a bit, and I don't know, I never really liked it before. Didn't really like the vibe of the gimbal. I liked my old Glide cam, the HD 4000. But I don't know, recently I just thought, you know what? If I'm going to get into bigger stuff, I need to probably start upping my game with the gimbal. And Ronin just brought out their new, DJI, just brought out their new gimbal. The Ronin RS2, I think it is. So I thought, look, let me first master the Ronin S before I go for the S2, RS2. I thought I hadn't mastered this. I'd had the Ronin for a while and hadn't mastered it. So this is the handle grip. This is the switch grip dual handle for the Ronin S. So it comes with these. And I'm shooting this in 8K if you haven't realized yet. So the camera's been recording now for 10 minutes and seems to be running fine. So this is the tools it comes with, a couple of screws. So number 5, the final point, am I at number 5 or number 6? Number 5 is that I got stuck on a number of occasions, more than once, between record and not record. So because of the stupid red dot, I don't know if you know, the R5's got a red dot, and it's also got a record.rec written. And maybe I should just take a photo. I'll just take a photo of that and then I'll post this photo on the video so you can see what I'm talking about here. But basically, yeah, it's got this red dot that turns into a red square when you're recording. But when you just visually just catch it with your eye, but you're trying to see and frame up the subject, visually you just catch that with your eye. And then my brain was thinking at some points it was recording. And then I would say, okay, quickly, I'll just say to the client, quickly, I'm just going to review this. And I would review it and the footage wouldn't be there. It's like what was there was me directing them with the camera down here. That was recording. And then when I put it up, it wasn't recording. So this is the most, like it's happened to me before. I'm not perfect in this area. It's pretty cool, nice handles. So it's happened to me before. This has actually happened to me before, but not to this extent. So I probably lost over the 2 days, maybe like, I don't know, I probably shot like 500 clips, let's say, but maybe I lost like 6 or 10 clips because of this issue, this feature. So I think these clip in like this to here. One of the ways like this. Something like that. They clip onto there basically, and that clips onto the Ronin, and then these come in underneath, and like NATO rail, it's pretty cool. It's NATO rail, so they clip on underneath like that, and you can slide them in and out. And so you basically, you know, one handle would be there, one would be there on either side of the Ronin. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, basically, I lost about probably 5, 6, maybe up to 8 clips because I got stuck between record and not record. Record, not record. Does that make sense? I thought I was recording when I wasn't recording because of the little red light. So, but after I got used to it on the second day, it only happened once, you know. So the first day it happened more often because I was shooting run and gun and it was a very like tight schedule shoot. But the second day it didn't happen to me again. So they're my little things that I learnt from shooting on the R5. It didn't overheat on me. It gave me a warning, but didn't overheat. It was only about 23 degrees Celsius, so it wasn't super hot ambient temperature-wise. I was shooting outside for a bunch of that and a portion of that. I was shooting on a construction site outside. I was shooting on a football oval outside, on a beach as well outside. So apart from those little things, I really enjoyed shooting with it. I thought it was excellent. I feel like it's the best camera that I've had in my hand, regardless of form factor, the image it produces, and the usability. I had my C1, C2, C3 set up, so I had the multi-function button shifting, able to jump through those settings. And so every time I came back, it always came back to the previous setting, and then I just adjusted ISO to suit the certain scenes once I was in the mode I wanted to be in. So it worked really, really well for this type of shoot. So hopefully you got something out of this video, and I'll set up this Ronin and maybe I'll do a video on the Ronin S, even though it's old and stuff like that. You know, and there's a new one out and everything. Crazy video from Peter McKinnon on the new RS2. If you haven't seen that already, that's incredible. Maybe that inspired some of this to get going with these handles and sort of get a bit more out of my Ronin. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you got something out of it. And if you did, make sure you hit the thumbs up button. And if you're looking to upgrade from the EOS R or the 5D Mark IV to the R5, go for it. Do not wait, just go for it and get the R5. It's an awesome camera and it will serve you really, really well. All right, that's all from me. We'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.